Hello, my dudes. Welcome back to another relaxing ASMR Doodle video with me, the Doodler. And today I thought I would just make out some simple doodles and help you try and clear your mind and hopefully get you nice and relaxed so you can get some sleep. And I thought we could maybe start with a snake. And the reason I'm starting with a snake today is because I feel like we should discuss fears. Sometimes we're irrationally scared of things for no reason. Even though snakes are a little different, especially a cobra, which is what I'm trying to draw here. Because this snake is highly venomous, it would make sense to be scared, or at least cautious, and respect the animal. Not just go up to it and start petting it, poking it with a stick. It would require some form of respect and caution. However, this isn't exactly the type of fear I want to discuss. I don't know if cobra snakes coil up like this, but that's just what we're going to do right now. The type of fears that I really want to discuss are more subtle. They kind of sneak up on you when you almost least expect it. When you're thinking about how you used to think when you were a child. And while, yes, you may have been scared of monsters and such, you also weren't exactly scared of your future. You had huge dreams and aspirations and goals that many would find unobtainable. But you were a child, and some such stops were not in your thinking. You just weren't equipped to fear like that. Fear of a future, a mundane future, or an unfulfilling future. You didn't exactly think about those types of things as a child. And now, as an adult, perhaps, it's a little different. And those are the types of fears that I think I want to discuss today with you. When you set out in life, it feels so very scripted, especially if you're a child. For the most part, you seem to have a lot of things scheduled for you, a lot of decisions made for you. On the weekdays, you're supposed to attend school. And on the weekends, your parents probably had you do some chores or go on trips with the family. Something like that. But then as an adult, you do get a sense of freedom in the sense that you don't need to attend school if you don't want to. You don't have to do things on the weekend if you don't want to. And overall, you get to just live your life on paper. However, it's a different type of control that seems to take over when you've left that comfortable bubble of childhood. It's no longer fears of snakes or fears of going to school. It's other things that creep in. Fears of failure. Fears of the future. Things that scare you differently. Perhaps at one time you thought, I'm going to become an actor or a movie star, and I would have a very loyal fan base, and lots of millions of people would see me on the big screen. Or perhaps it was something a little more like professional sports. People that dreamed of becoming pro football players, baseball players, all sorts of things like that. And these dreams as a child fuel you towards your decisions you make. But what if none of those things came true, and you had to pursue not exactly a mundane lifestyle, but a far more attainable one? Maybe the magic disappears as an adult. The excitement of chasing something slowly dissipates, and you find that you're stuck with only your thoughts. Maybe you imagined a more exciting life, and you thought to yourself that this possibly couldn't be it. This can't be what's in store for me. Waking up, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, waking up, going to work, coming home, going to sleep. And maybe after years, it slowly starts to change you. And you start to get warped. This veil is uplifted, and your childhood disappears. Right then and there, all of those attainable thoughts and dreams come crashing down, and you convince yourself that you're supposed to live this way. And you still turn on your screens and you see those that made it. Those that didn't give up. Those that may have had an unforeseen amount of help. And you tell yourself, I wish that could have been me. And now I'm here stuck, living a life of making a paycheck. I feel like there's an inevitable feeling of nihilism that forms as an adult. You start to notice how similar every day feels. And perhaps you fear it. You fear what you're experiencing. Especially if you came into it with this mentality of expecting more. And then to live in such a way, it doesn't feel quite right. But I assure you, these fears that you feel were put in place by a society of people that gave up. A society of people that accepted a false ideal that the magic of childhood is gone, that the things that drive you towards your goals are unobtainable, and that you should give up and pursue something more familiar and comfortable. Imagine explaining that to a child. Try imagining explaining that to yourself as a child. All of those aspirations, all of those dreams, you shatter them. And you allow your own fear to permeate into others. You couldn't do it. I would imagine if you were able to return back in time and you felt or had the chance to speak to a younger self, I don't think the words that came out of your mouth would be to give up. Stop daydreaming. Stop chasing the impossible. Do you really see yourself saying that to a younger version? Telling yourself to just stop. Could you really imagine that? I think you would have very opposite words. I think you would tell yourself, the world wants to stop you. The world wants you to find comfort, habits, a schedule. It wants you to settle because it's a known method. It's worked for hundreds of years to just get up, go to work, get a paycheck, look forward to the time off, but never stop making money. It's a formula that's worked for many, many people. So society uses it as a golden method. But you would tell yourself these dreams you had as a child, these thoughts you had, these aspirations you had, they're not going to be given to you, no. You have to chase them and fight for them. But you shouldn't give up on them. It's a totally different type of fear from, let's say, our friendly snake over here. When you're about to go against the grain of society, of what you're comfortable with. The fear is great. But they say the opposite of fear is hope. And imagine all that hope you had as a child. All those dreams you experienced, all those passions you chased and followed. Don't try and squelch that to appease other people in your life, or to appease a voice in your head that sounds 99% like society. Tells you you're doing it wrong. You're not doing it the way that's been tested, and there's evidence for success. You can't stop dreaming. Don't let your fears push you back inside of a box. Now I know how some people can take this. Some people that might say, oh, I decided to follow the regular path of society and do everything I'm supposed to do according to my parents or my mentors or those that came before me. And you're telling me that's a mundane life, that I turned my back to an excitement that I felt as a child. Even though I live quite comfortably now and have attained some fantastic goals. No, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. Because I would imagine if you are one of these people that are happy with the choices they made and feel like they aren't settling and they're happy with their careers and happy with their choices, they aren't probably sitting around thinking about their childhood and their fantasies and their aspirations anymore. They're probably quite happy with the choices they made. It's to the people that have that gnawing voice in the back of their head that just keeps telling them this can't be it. This can't be everything that life has to offer. My sole existence cannot possibly be to make money. It can't be that I have to pay bills and just make sure I'm making enough. It's those people that I'm talking to. But people that are creative and want to aspire for great things that are challenging and almost nearly impossible to get. They're easily talked out of these dreams. It's easier to give up, focus on something a little more concrete, something a little more attainable. They're easily talked out of these dreams by external voices and people that have given up on the magic of trying. But I assure you, if you're in that boat, you'll soon come to realize just how short life is, and just how quickly the journey ends. And you will be thinking in your final moments, what would it have hurt to chase something I loved? Don't let your fears, placed by those around you, don't let those fears put you back into a box if you feel like there's more in your life, that you have more to offer. Nothing is going to be handed to you. You have to fight for what you want. And listening to those fears and those voices won't help you. I hope you enjoyed the video, my dudes. It was kind of a longer one today. I just really wanted to express some very important messages for people, and myself, I suppose, to hear. So stay strong. Be good to yourself. Allow yourself to want and chase things. Allow yourself to realize you're worth it. And don't let that little child inside of you, the curiosity, your aspirations, don't let that voice disappear. Enjoy your night. Get some sleep. And I'll catch you in the next